Good morning, guys. Good morning, guys. KLBELVIN here, and I am under the weather, so I did not go to work today. I did not teach today. So I just came from the drugstore and about to get some rest. So wait a couple of minutes for folks to join us. My point today, that freedom cost. You hear the term, but I think a lot of people don't understand. Hey, what's up, darling? Is that if you want freedom from anything, you want freedom from a relationship, you want freedom from work, you want freedom of being overweight. I don't care what it is you want freedom of. The real question is not what you want. What are you willing to do? And I hear a lot of people say they hate their jobs, and then they go to their job and act exactly. Freedom is not free. And so you have to really ask that question of yourself and say, what are you willing to give up? And what are you willing to do to achieve the freedom that you want? And I'm so glad you posted that. I missed your name. I'm sorry. Freedom is not free. And so when I tell folks that I am leaving the Department of Education, it is because there's certain freedoms that I want, and that after 19 years I cannot get working for the New York City Department of Education. So I am leaving New York at the end of the school year, and I am starting anew in a new state. Thank you for the hearts. But I'm also, it comes with a major price, and most people will not make those sacrifices. Exactly right. And that's exactly the whole point of the scope, is that I'm returning to grad school in 3 weeks. Yeah, the 18th, 2 weeks or whatever it is. But I start grad school the 18th because I needed to work on another degree that's going to help me in the direction that I'm going in. And I have to make those sacrifices. Part of the sacrifice I'm making is I'm leaving teaching. I'm not happy with what I see. I don't believe that the New York City school system takes urban children into mind when it actually sets their programs into place. And unfortunately, the kids who need the most help are getting the teachers with the least experience. Good morning, everyone. I just want to say this now. Hello, this is KLBELVIN. The block party is in effect today because I am under the weather. So I'm not dealing with too much foolishness. With my company, we say you have more, if you want more, you have to become more, without question. But that's something that we should all push ourselves, that we should actually sit. So for me, I said, okay, I'm stepping out on faith, and I'm going to trust the Lord, and I'm going to trust the experience and education I have to this point. But the reason why I want more education, because the direction I'm going in, that education is required. Now, that doesn't mean that my current education is useless. It just means I'm probably going to make less money by stepping out of my current field because I'll be walking into a new field. But I'm willing to sacrifice that, and I'm willing to do that. And you have to make those decisions if you're going to gain the freedom that you want. Now, I hear people talk about quitting their jobs and working for themselves. Listen, first of all, stop. And you have to, one, really look in the mirror and make sure that you have skills, the products, or an idea that is going to sustain you over time. Because you can make a lot of money 1 year, and then what happens after? So you have to make sure that in whatever direction you're going, there's an opportunity to be consistent. I write books now. I've published 3 books. I own my own company, and I can honestly tell you, it is difficult. Have I thought about quitting my job and just committing to my company full time? Yes. Yes, because God never intended for us to have less, but more. I'm proud of you stepping out of your comfort zone. Oh, without question. Oh, well, see, for me, it's always about growth. And with growth, you have to step out of your comfort zone. Because if we don't look to grow, and all growth comes with some difficulties, all growth comes with some pain, but the idea is the beauty of what we become is better than what we actually go through. And unfortunately, many of us as adults don't teach our children this. And I know as an educator, many teachers who teach don't do this. I am an educator. Oh, first, let me back up a second. Hello, my name is KLBELVIN. I am an educator. I am an author. I am a publisher. I am a mentor, and I am a speaker. as well as a father and a man of God. I wear multiple hats, and I make sure that I am diligent in all that I do. And sometimes it can get very difficult. Now, today I was under the weather, so I did not go in today, so I know my school is jumping up and down. I'm in Brooklyn. And I teach in Brooklyn. And so my company was based in Queens, but I moved to Brooklyn, but my P.O. box is still in Queens. And so I have 3 published books. I have worked on 20. I'm moving to Delaware in July. My wife and I have worked on 25 books total. And, we have, it has not been easy in the last 5 years, but we have been diligent and we've been consistent, and it's okay. But would I do it full time? No. I speak, and I'm invited to speak different places. Would I do that full time? No. Because certain markets are up and down, and I have a daughter to take care of. So there's a level of consistency that I require. But that's not going to stop me from making decisions or moves that I feel are going to grant me the freedoms that I'd like. So by returning to grad school to work on my second master's degree, it's going to grant me the freedoms that I want for the plans that I have going forward. But all of us have to stop and consider, what are we doing if we want certain freedoms? What are we willing to do? What are we willing to give? And practical wisdom is extremely important. But unfortunately, many of us get wisdom one way. We sit, we listen, but we don't then apply what we listen. So many of us sit in church on Saturdays and Sundays, and we hear a fantastic word, but then we do not go out and actually apply. If you're not in passion, don't pursue. Yeah, you pursue your passion. Profit. You can make money at anything. The question is, what can you and will you do consistently? And can and will it pay you consistently? You also have to take into mind what your passion is and become a master at it. I am an educator and I am a master at teaching. I love to teach. Unfortunately, because of the restraints. Thank you so much. Because of the restraints, I have become unhappy at what I do, and I refuse to stay on anyone's job and be unhappy. Not happening, because that filters into the other aspects of your life. You come home and you're not the husband that you should be. You're not the father that you should be. And anytime a job gets you to the point that your character starts to be affected, it is time to leave. And never, and I'm going to say this twice, never allow money. Never, never, never allow money to keep you on a job or in a position that causes you to feel so uncomfortable that your character is affected, that you are walking around grouchy and grumpy, that you don't smile, that you ain't making love to your significant other because you're more worried about work when you're not even there. And these are some of the freedoms that I'm talking about. I've seen educators who are so stressed out, they're literally passing out at work. And I'm like, how are you allowing this job to stress you to that degree? Because they're worried about the observation. They're worried about what some parent is going to say. And I would always say, take a step back. Focus on you. Focus on doing the best job that you can do. And don't worry about parents. Don't worry about administration. Because a person can come into your classroom and find anything negative they choose to. But the comfort has to be if you know you did what you were supposed to do. The principles from the Divine Manual, and what I realize is that most people want. Oh, without question. I appreciate that. GT speaks. That goes without question. Many people don't want to put in the work, but want, listen, a lot of people want happiness, don't want to work for it. And that's one of the things that I noticed when I say to folks how I was able to sustain all these years in the Department of Education, when I've had principals literally go after my license because I refused to just do what they wanted when I knew what they were doing was harmful to children. It is being professional. I put the work in. I make sure that my lessons are done. I make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to when you walk into my classroom. So even if you don't like me, I don't care about that. You can't come in and say I wasn't teaching. No parent can come in and say, well, you didn't give my child an opportunity to learn. Oh, if your child chose not to learn, that's different. But I give every child an opportunity to learn because this is part of what I am required to do. And as a man of God, this is part of what my faith teaches me, is that regardless of the situation, I know God has my back. So I'm going to come into a classroom, even if you give me the most difficult kids, and I'm going to do the best that I can do. And if you then say to me, there's other ways to do it, then I'm going to say, show me or provide me an opportunity to learn it. And then I will come back and apply it. This is part of what my master's degree going forward is about, is teaching folks how to apply knowledge, how to apply their faith, how to apply the visions that they have, and actually how to apply it. This is why I'm getting a degree in counseling / ministry, because I want to be able to sit with folks and say, okay, this is the thought you have. Now, what is it going to take for us to make this come to fruition? And are you willing to put that effort in, that work in? Too often, the complaints just don't make sense to me. And again, if you just tuned in, please share this with, I'm looking forward to following the steps of faith and you are taking that. Okay, excellent. Please, oh, by the way, I almost forgot the particulars. Please share this with your friends. Please share this on Twitter. Please share this with folks. There's a market for what I know I'm in. And okay, please share this with different folks in your various groups. And thank you so much for the hearts. My name is KLBELVIN. If you just tuned in, I am an educator. I am an author, 3-time published author. I am the owner of a publishing company, BRAVIN Publishing. That's BRAVIN Publishing. And we have published 25 books, 3 of my own, 22 from other authors who have trusted us with their work. I am a speaker, a mentor, a father, and a loving husband and man of God. And I intertwine all those things because you have to. It's still you. So when I'm at work and you want me to stay late, if it's going to take time away from my wife and daughter, no, money's not enough for that. I'm going home. When I am writing, my wife and daughter know if I'm in that mode. When I'm in my writing mode, they know to give me my space for the hour or so because I need to put that hat on and write. When I'm publishing and we're working on something together, my wife and I, one of us may watch the baby while she's doing either the typesetting or I'm doing something else. So again, we work as a unit. And when I'm speaking and I'm preparing to speak, my wife and daughter are there with me as well as I'm putting things together. And when I am speaking at an event, I need to have my wife there because sometimes when I glance over at her, she lets me know you're hitting it, you're not hitting it. Or she'll let me know, you might not want to say that or don't say that again. And I need that when I'm doing what I'm doing because, again, I know that she has my interest, my back. And so, and when I'm mentoring, sometimes when I'm frustrated and I come home and I'm like, I just don't know how to reach this child and I just don't, I get angry. Having my wife and my baby there helps take away that anger, take away the frustrations, and I'm ready to gear up for the next day. So you can't disconnect. Again, the block party's in effect. Don't get yourself blocked. Anyway, you can't take away from the different hats that you wear and act like you're a different person. You may have different roles in the different areas that you're in, but it is still you. And if you are suffering in one area, it will creep eventually into the other areas. You will bring work home if you cannot get yourself together. You will get yourself, hello from New Jersey, welcome. You will get yourself into a position that you don't want to be in, and all of a sudden, home starts to deteriorate. Your relationship with your children starts to deteriorate. The job is already deteriorating or something else, and then all of a sudden, your leisure time starts to disappear. That's another thing, too, is making sure that you have freedoms enough to enjoy your leisure time. So for me, Sunday, I don't do any work on Sunday. I rarely take calls on Sunday. And when I do take calls, if you want to talk business, it better be something that's so important that I need to just take that call on a Sunday. Because then if not, I'll say, look, I'm going to talk to you later because I'm either going to watch these football games, I'm going to hang out with my wife and daughter, and then Sunday evening is when I finally start to creep into my mindset of let me get everything ready for Monday. I'll go over my lessons. I'll go over what I have to do, and I'll figure out what my week is going to be. When I'm writing, I write sporadically. I'm not one of those writers who has a writing plan where I'm going to write every morning, I'm going to write every night. Sometimes I'll say I'm going to write tonight. Sometimes I do most of my writing in the evening or on the weekends because I need sometimes a big block of time just to think, sometimes just to veg out while I'm thinking about it. And then when I start writing, I really want to get into a lot of writing. So I'll block off some time. But I understand me. And the way I manage me is not the way I would teach somebody else to manage them. But what I would teach somebody is the mindset. What a pendant with you. Oh, okay. What I would say is that you still have to have a plan of action. It is required. You have to have a plan of action. And then you have to commit to your plan of action. So this way, if it is not working, when you go to seek help, you can explain to somebody what you've done. It's like going to a doctor. A doctor will say, when I went to the doctor and said, I'm not feeling well, he asked me some qualifying questions. Then it realized I had an ear infection. I had some nasal situations that I had to take some medication for. Okay, so now I know why I'm sick. Fine. Now the question is, take the medication and hopefully I'll be well in a couple of days. No different when you're trying to gain the freedoms that you want. And complaints are not going to get you freedom. You can complain about all the things you see. The question really becomes, what are you going to do to gain it? So my name is KLBELVIN. I hope that this has been helpful to you. I hope that you will take the time out to consider what I said. If you need to reach me, thank you for the hearts, by the way. And everyone, I will definitely go back and check all the comments. So if I missed any comments, I will definitely reach out to everyone that was here. It is actually my practice on the scope. And if you don't know who I am, like I said, my name is KLBELVIN. My scopes will be going forward are going to be dealing with education, going to be doing with the literary industry, and dealing with relationships. Those are my three areas that I focus on. You want to see my pendant? Yes, it's my cross. As I said, I'm a man of God, so I wear my large cross around my neck. So I guess you have a fascination with my pendant. There it is. I am a believer in Jesus Christ, and I make no bones about it, nor do I actually want you to commit yourself. Understand, that's where I come from. So anyway, but again, so if you need to reach me, you can reach me at main office at bravenpublishing.com. That is my email address. It is BRAVIN Publishing. So that's main office at BRAVINpublishing.com. My website is www.bravinpublishing.com. I am on Facebook, KLBELVIN, Google Plus, KLBELVIN, Twitter, KLBELVIN. Just, you can listen. I'm on all, all social networks under KLBELVIN. And you can just simply reach out. Hey, Distinguished, what's up, my brother? That young brother right there, Distinguished, talented young brother. Make sure that you follow him. Check him out. Search for him on Facebook. Distinguished to God. My man is an incredible talent. I'm not even going to label him and just say wordsmith. He is a talented actor, talented poet, and talented young man, and just really doing it. No, I'm not a pastor. I'm just a man of God. And I think all of us become pastors when we sign on to love the Lord and love Jesus. So we have to spread the word. But so I appreciate all of you that have signed on. If you got here late, again, my name is KLBELVIN. Please reach out. Please share this scope with friends and family. I will make sure I go back and check the analytics so I can reach out and connect with everyone that presented some positive information here. Sometimes I wish I had to catch myself a few scopes back because I was getting too caught into some of the negative comments and taking away from my message. No longer. The block party is definitely in effect, and so I don't hesitate. But again, I hope that this has helped. And to sum everything up, remember, freedom does not come free. I don't care what it is freedom of. If you want freedom from the lifestyle that you have to dig in and get yourself out. If you want freedom from your job, you have to create the exit plan that it's going to take and be prepared to do what you planned on doing. If you want financial freedom, well, then what efforts and work are you going to put in to be able to stockpile the money that you need to be able to gain that freedom? If you want spiritual freedom, then what are you willing to let go to gain the peace in your body, in your mind, in your soul to be able to get that? So freedom doesn't come. It comes with relinquishing something. I noticed that a lot of folks are uncomfortable with releasing money. Never be uncomfortable with releasing money. Release it. It'll come back. And if you love what you do and if you're doing the things that you enjoy, you will get paid. Now, will you make enough to buy a Bentley? The question is, do you really need a Bentley? So the idea is that if you have enough that your family's comfortable, if you have enough that you have health care, that if you get sick, you'll be taken care of, then you're good. Sometimes our wants exceed I live in Brooklyn, exceed our grasp, and we don't realize that, sometimes just being comfortable is great. And so that is really the situation. And so listen, time for me to go. I'm gonna go get some rest. I have some writing to do. I took the day off, so I need to get some rest and be ready for work tomorrow. It's returning back to work with the kids. I missed the little ones. Even though this is my last year, I still enjoy working. This is my first year working with elementary kids. And no, I do not speak Arabic. This is my first year working with the little ones, pre-K to 5th grade. And I got to admit, it's recharged my battery in terms of not feeling as negative about leaving as I was. So I'm actually looking forward to leaving in June, but I'm sad that I'll be leaving the young folks that I'm working with right now. But I appreciate them, and I know that they appreciate me. And so I'm going to go hard for them these next 6 months until the end of June. And then I'm going to walk into wherever the Lord is going to take me in my new career. And so I am moving to Delaware. I'm going to reestablish myself there, and I will be doing grad school work and some other work. So look for me. I will be on soon in another blog, probably sometime tomorrow or the next day. But again, all of you that stopped in, I appreciate you. And it has been the best. Who do I follow, or how do I follow you? If you want to follow me, I'm on Facebook, KLBELVIN. I'm on, actually just look up KLBELVIN. I'm everywhere. I'm on Google+, I'm on Twitter. My website is www.bravenpublishing.com. And my email address is, I want to see my chain. My email address is main office at bravenpublishing.com. And you can definitely, not silver, it's actually stainless steel. I'm not wasting all that money on stainless steel. Wow. Let's see what we got here. Anyway, so again, guys, it has been my pleasure. Take care and have a wonderful day. If you need to reach out, you need to touch with me. My voicemail is on my website, www.bravenpublishing.com. You can leave me a message. And if you want to set up an opportunity for me to come and speak at your organization, your school, your church, whatever, reach out. We'll work out something. I love to travel. I'll actually be in Napa Valley next month in February for an event, and I'll be in New Jersey for an event in March. And I'm working on some other events coming up as the year goes along. And so you'll be able to find me. And of course, I'll be here on Scope. And yes, I do private Scopes. If you want to sit down and talk and get over and talk about some things, we can set that up also.